Rolling.
Hey there, my name is Shaun. I'm with Casino Kid. I'm also in a band called Busy Busy. I'm also in a band.
Say that one again.
Busy Busy.
Okay.
As in like too busy. I'm also in a band called Trace Repeat. I occasionally play with my buddy Shelby Ann. I have a lot of other stuff going. I'm also in a band called Voodoo Dolly. We are a tribute Susie and the Banshees cover band.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like an all-black Afro-futurist version of Susie and the Banshees.
Wow, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. So
how do you have time to have any more of a life when you're in, what, 5 different projects? Wow, that's amazing.
well, you know, it's just, you know,
You live for playing music.
I live for playing music
and creating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have an okay day job that lets me like be a little flexible.
Right on.
And somehow my wife doesn't hate me. But it's you know, it's just a good time.
Go through the different bands and describe the sound, and also where people may be able to see on, say, Spotify, Bandcamp, YouTube. So each group, and describe the sound, and then where they can find it.
Okay, so Casino Kid, the band that just played tonight, we're like math rock. That's a very, very lazy way to describe it. If you were to describe like Casino Kid, just imagine if Ozzy Osbourne and Isaac Hayes were stuck in a bucket.
Wow. That's
And
pretty cool.
they're doing like, and they're stuck in a bucket, and that bucket was going over the Niagara Falls.
Nice. And it's all instrumental.
Yeah, that's all
You know,
instrumental.
I think there's not enough bands out there that just do instrumental. Sometimes lyrics and vocals can, you know, kill a song, man. You guys are power trio, man.
Yeah, so we're a power trio, and we just do it instrumental.
So you said the Afro Susie and the Banshee.
Yeah, so that band, the Susie and the Banshee cover band, it's called Voodoo Dolly, and we have the drummer from Brown Fellini's, Kevin, in it.
No way, Kevin Carnes.
Yeah, Kevin Carnes.
Wow, that's a
professor.
right. Wow, Brown Fellini's, y'all.
Yeah.
If you've been living under a rock for the last like 25, 30 years, they're like the biggest staple in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Jazz fusion, Kevin Carnes on drums.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're rolling with some good people. So
Yeah.
he's part of that?
He's part of that.
Wow,
And,
it doesn't surprise me as an eclectic mind. You know,
Yeah,
you know.
so the deal is that we don't. Kevin moved back to the Midwest, so we don't play very often. So we're probably gonna, you know, we try to like hit it once a year.
Yeah.
Just to like play safe. So
Wow,
we're
of
gonna
all
get something
bands
going
to
on.
be a tribute cover to, that's a real kind of like a little hidden gem there.
Yeah,
like,
because it's Susie and the Banshees. We all have like a soft spot for Susie and the Banshees. We're all nerds in high school, and we're all black nerds, and we have this affinity for Susie and the Banshees, and it's just like, you know, when the moment is right and you're on stage and you're playing a Susie song, it's like you're just into it, and it's just and it brings it like. We're recreating energy and like putting our own effort into it at the same time. So we're making our own moment, but at the same time celebrating the moment that passed, you know.
Right.
So irrespective of what, you know, it's like to a certain extent, I might get stricken by a bolt of lightning for saying this, but even though Susie and the Banshees were white, like they're pretty much our ancestors as well, you know. It's just like we got a lot out of them. So, you know, it's just they came before us, and we just try to honor their memory. So that's one of we do that.
Cool. You know, so many great bands have influences, and you know, like one of my favorite bands is the Talking Heads, and I'm obsessed with that concert, Stop Making Sense.
Yeah.
And they bring in, you know, world music, you know, and influences of funk and jazz, and
Yeah.
they're amazing. So it's really great to see people that, you know, no matter what race they are, they bring into this, you know, they bring the groove. No matter what they're at. So
Absolutely.
let's go on to the next project. What is that, and the description of that one?
So Busy Busy, that's a 5-piece like 90s rock band, you know. So
Okay.
it's just like it's like
what kind of 90s rock kind of sound would you say?
You know what? We're really close to Nirvana. We're really close to, God, we're like Pearl Jam, Nirvana,
yeah, that's definitely 90s.
yeah. So we're doing that stuff, like, and that's cool. Like a lot of the sub pop. Like type
Sub pop stuff.
Yeah,
oh, wow, yeah.
But like sub pop, but like in the middle of the road, not too loud and boisterous, and then not like on the other side like K Records type stuff. So it's like right in the middle, like with the edge. So
sub pop bands. What are some of those? Was the Pixies one of them at one time?
Pixies was a sub pop band. God, like
that kind of sound, y'all.
Yeah, like Soundgarden was a sub pop band, but actually, and then the other, we just have a little bit of Touch and Go, and a little bit of AMREP, not much AMREP. Like if I
a lot of great stuff from Touch and Go over the years. Wow, that's one.
But but Amphetamine Reptile is also one of my I really love. Like my influences, like I'm kind of all over the place, but there's so much to cover with all types of music. Like I think The Cows is on AMREP, and I think there's a couple of other bands. Like now that there's the camera in front of me, like I can't think of all this stuff, but I guess I can go back to the other bands.
Check for some of those names, and is there any more you want to add to the list of what you have been doing or looking to do?
So the other thing that I do is that I am. So I'm trained in jazz. I went and studied with a cat by the name of Glenn Richmond, who played bass for Bobby Hutcherson. So I studied with him for like 2 or 3 years, and then I started doing some jazz. So I do jazz things. So when I can, I try to like play jazz functions, and that's really cool. And I love the music of jazz. And I like speaking the language. Yeah. So I try to get that in. It's always also very cool to like get jazz in and be able to like be creative and like be improvisational. So that's a good thing.
We noticed you were on a 5-string bass tonight. What else do you fancy yourself on playing? 4-string, 5-string, any more than that?
Actually, funny you should ask. With my buddy Shelby that I already mentioned, we played last week, and I played my 6-string acoustic bass guitar.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
So I mean, to a certain extent, I'm one of those guys with the too many strings on the bass, But I also like playing 4 strings. I have 4 strings, like for this type of music, for Casino Kid. Yeah. Like I do the 5 string because there's a lot of ground to cover since we're an instrumental band. But when I play for bands like Elegant Trash.
You played with Lee Hoffman and Elegant Trash?
I played with him a couple of times.
Right
Hopefully he'll ask me to play again.
So you did the Solar Van out there?
We did Solar Van together 2 weeks ago.
Right on. I got to play there one time with my Mannequin Planet.
Yeah.
So So you're a year into this band. How'd you link up with the drummer and the guitar player? And it seems like you guys have really great chemistry, man. I mean, you've been doing it together for a year.
Yeah. So the wild part about that is that one of my nervous tics is that I go on Craigslist and I look for bands to play with.
Yeah.
It was just a fluke that actually this band worked out. Because every time I go on Craigslist, you've gone on Craigslist before looking for a band. Have you found a band that you liked? No, but actually this time I found a band, and it was Casino Kid, and it was great. And they like in the description, they're like math rock, and I'm like, yeah.
Man. Any gigs that you played this year that stand out more than others, or clubs you played with, or other bands you played with?
Actually,
with Casino Kid.
With Casino Kid, actually the best is like the.
Or any gig in your lifetime, really.
Actually, the other thing that I'm also affiliated with, I'm affiliated with an art house in San Francisco by the name of Raining Chainsaws.
Okay.
And we played Hardly Strictly Bluegrass a couple of times.
Oh, that's a sweet gig, man.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
We played it in 2003 and 2004. 2023 and 2024, and it was a really good time. So it was just like big life-size puppets with like a music section.
What's the name of the group again?
The name of the group is Raining Chainsaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of music is that? Because Hardly Strictly Bluegrass doesn't just apply to bluegrass and country bands. They really, I mean, I saw Tom Morello out there one year. I saw Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. I saw Steve Martin in his band. I mean, so it's not just limited to that. I think even Les Claypool played out there.
Yeah. So with Raining Chainsaws, basically, it was like like vignettes.
Yeah.
They do vignettes with like life-size puppets.
Oh, nice. That's a different.
Yeah. So they do the vignettes with the life-size puppets.
Is there any video people can see of that on YouTube?
Yeah, there is. Just like Google. If you were to Google Raining Chainsaws,
okay.
Hardly Strictly Bluegrass. There's videos that'll come up.
Is that you on there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I got to get into influences because everybody has them.
Yeah.
I've been to the NAMM show. I met all my bass heroes. Stu Ham, Billy Sheehan, Victor Wooten, Bootsy Collins, Cool from Cool and the Gang. I'm a big bass guy. The guy from Metallica, he plays funk bass like no other. You know, my favorite sound of any instrument is the pop slap style by Larry Graham. And, you know, of course, his students, Les Claypool and Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, what are your bass guys, man? I mean, let's give it to the folks.
All of the ones that you mentioned, especially Victor Wooten.
Victor.
Because
I saw the Wooten family at Great American Music Hall, and his brother Reggie on guitar and his keyboard brother. Dude, if you guys don't know, check out the Wooten family. They're just like top-notch, class act musicians, man. And better than anything that's inducted into the rock and rap hole of shit. Okay, so you'll never see the Wootens in there because they're really too good for that. But you know, I think I got somebody who agrees with me.
Yeah, I saw. I might have seen that show at the Great American Music Hall. It was a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah, it was dubbed the Wooten family. It was one of the sickest concerts I ever saw.
So that was cool. Like they.
Who are your other guys, man?
Okay, so like you know, I gotta say some of the ones that you said.
Yeah.
Because they deserve, like Larry Graham, of course.
Oh yeah.
And Stanley Clarke. John Patitucci, like a jazz bass player. Ron Carter. Ron Carter is like the reason why I like Ron Carter is because it's not how much he plays, but it's how he plays it. It's the touch that he plays with.
Yeah.
And the way that he touches with the bass and the sound that he makes, you can tell that he's been doing it for as long as he's been doing it. So like him, there's a couple of like YouTube's kind of weird because you can get into like, there's some YouTube people that I watch for entertainment purposes, and then there are other YouTube people that I watch when I want to have a better understanding of like getting to know the bass. One cat by the name of Evan Marion.
Yeah.
Who played with Alan Holdsworth before Alan Holdsworth passed on. He's good. And then I also like Janek Guizdela.
Okay.
He's a cat in LA and he's amazing. And
look for these names on YouTube because this is a way to discover new stuff.
Yeah,
you know, for sure.
Yeah. So I like him, and just there's so many other bands like so many other players. I like Steven Bruner, Thundercat, like he's good.
Oh, Thundercat.
I like Robert Bubby Lewis, who used to play with Snoop Dogg. And I think, actually,
what other bands are you feeling too over the years, just as a whole? Like, what would some of your bands that rock your world? Give me 5 or so, you know.
Okay, so all right, Killing Joke.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
I'm really into Rachmaninoff right now.
Which one?
Rachmaninoff.
Okay, never heard of that.
He's a composer. Like his Rachmaninoff and Chopin. Like beautiful textural music. I also like XTC. That's one of my favorite bands ever.
Wow, that's pulling one out of the
I love them. I also like a band called Hiatus Coyote.
Okay.
I dig them
That's
a lot.
an interesting band name. I
Yeah,
have to
so
say.
they're out of Australia. And then for a fifth one, God, I gotta think about this one because there's so
Shit,
many.
we'll take it to 10.
Yeah, there's just a lot.
You mentioned you like Nirvana, you like Sushi and the Banshees,
I
right?
like Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I love the Brown Fellinis. I have to shout out to Victim's Family.
Oh,
I want to tell you about a man called Larry Boothroyd. His name's Larry Boothroyd. Larry's bass playing is the best pep talk I have ever had, like ever. He's just a great guy, great lines.
And being such a great bass player yourself, why would you choose the person that you said you study under? Give us some background on that guy in his bass playing and.
Oh yeah, so Glenn Richmond. So he played with Bobby Hutcherson, like a keyboardist and a vibraphonist that I like, and that's another guy. Like
someone on the vibes like Roy Ayers.
Yeah.
Remember that cat?
And the reason why I chose Glenn is because I was interested, I was intrigued about how he used his bass accompaniment with something other than guitar, because I want to use, because there's when you're playing with something other than the guitar, you have a different type of voice and you focus on other things. And I'd like to bring as many things into my playing as possible, and that's why I chose Glenn. Because he's another guy like Ron Carter. It's he touches just the way that he touches the bass.
Yeah.
He doesn't another guy. I'm going to contrast Glenn Richmond to another cat that I really like, Adrian Farreau. He's million miles a minute. God, I'm starting to think about him now. Million miles a minute, bass player who's really good. Jeff Berlin also like that. But with Glenn, he just has a touch. He has a touch in the way he play it. His left hand intonation, and then his right hand, the way that he does the variations with it.
Yeah.
It's the way that he speaks, and that's one of the things that I want to do. That's why I play in so many different types of bands.
Yeah.
That's why I play so many different types of basses and instruments. I want to be in a situation where I can, well, first of all, not suck with other musicians, but at the same time, I want to be able to be a part of the conversation and never be at a loss for something to say. And I want that thing to say to not be stupid. And and that's that's the obsession that I have with bass. I love bass. I love music. I love people who are down for the music. I love people who take the time to do interviews of musicians.
Right on.
It's all good.
Thank you so much. And I do this. I've been doing it since 2010 for my own band, and it's all for the passion and the love, because it's not a lot of us are getting paid to do this. So it's the love for the music, and hopefully if somebody sees this, they try to come out to the next show to see you guys or discover all these influence that you talked about. Any last words you want to add? Any gigs coming up you want to promote? Give us some links to hear music from Casino Kid on the interwebs.
Yeah, so you can find Casino Kid on Bandcamp. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Facebook. You can also find Casino Kid next Thursday, January 8th, at the Ivy Room. We're going to be playing with Arcade 9, and we're also going to be playing with Lost Puppy Forever. So
nice.
And that's
well, good luck in 2026, and you guys are incredible, man. I film in a lot of bands, but I was definitely digging y'all's vibe, and it's aggressive, but yet you just got the chops. I knew you were definitely a bass or jazz funk guy, just the for one, having the 5-stringer, and then I always say if he's a high strapper, he's really a better musician than the next one.
I'm a high strapper. I am a high, yes.
It was, you do your thing, man. It was rocking, and thank you for your time, and we're gonna get this up there, and you'll join the rest of the great musicians on Entertainment Getaway TV.
All right. Well,
later.
It's good to have you, and it's good to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you.